A letter of instruction by Joseph Smith 3 Part 37. If the death of the President should be reported by these councillors to the 12, would it be the duty of that quorum to at once assume the care and direction of the affairs of the Church? The Quorum of 12 would not be authorized to traverse outside of their duties as a traveling, presiding High Council, and take absolute direction and control of Church affairs, if the remaining members of the Presidency were in agreement and showed no disposition to assume arbitrary control, without proper recognition being given to the two other quorums holding concurrent jurisdiction in matters of decision. Should there be disunity among the remaining members of the Quorum of the Presidency, and confusion and strife as to authority arise between the councillors, the Quorum of 12 should then be recognized as authorized to secure a proper unity of action in the Church in connection with the Quorum of 70, holding equal authority in matters of decision. It is not in accordance with sound reason, that either quorum would have the right of absolute dictation over the authority and jurisdiction of the other two ruling quorums, these all three having been made equal by organic law. The assumption of arbitrary power and control by either one of these three bodies, declared in the organic law to be equal, would give rise to opposition and active protest, and confusion would inevitably result. 8. Or should they await the sitting of the next ensuing annual conference, to which report should be made by the councillors, and then assume the direction of affairs and proceed to secure nomination and election of a president to fill the vacancy created by death or removal from office for cause? They should await the action of the ensuing annual conference unless by agreement referred to above an earlier conference is called, at which report of the death of the President should be officially made, when their right to assume temporary control should be accorded them through their presiding officer, subject to voice and vote in the usual form of opening conference. 9. What should be the course of procedure in securing such choosing and sustaining of one to fill such vacancy? Conference should be opened in the usual manner by choosing a president pro tempore and the necessary secretary, by nomination and vote, whereupon the report of the remaining members of the quorum of the presidency should be presented by them, and the conference proceed to act upon said report, or to set an hour on that or a succeeding day, at which the report would be taken up and acted upon. The setting of an hour, as suggested, would give time for the appointment of credentials committee and the hearing of their report, that the conference might be fully prepared to vote viva voce or by a yea and nay call of delegates. There would be no need for friction, if there was a disposition upon the part of all to grant the courtesy and rights to others that they would make demand for themselves, in the spiritual understanding that it is not for the purpose of self-aggrandizement or self-laudation that they are met, but to do business which will conserve the safe interests of the entire body. 10. Should the Quorum of 12 by one or more of their number by virtue of their office preside at the conference next ensuing after vacancy in the quorum of the first presidency occurred? No person has the right, either in custom or law, to demand the prerogative and rule of authority to preside over the conference of the Church when met for business, at a stated period, and arbitrarily assume control without the choice of the assembly obtained by nomination and vote. 11. Or would it be legal or expedient for the conference to choose someone to act pro tempore by usual nomination and vote? It would be lawful for the conference to choose by nomination and vote any qualified person, holding the Melchizedek priesthood to preside pro tempore, but Paul's adage, that all things are lawful unto me, but all things are not expedient, would be in force in such instance, and the wiser and safer course would be that the president of the Quorum of 12 or someone of the quorum, or other, whom he might suggest should be chosen to preside until the first presidency as a quorum was reconstructed.